when I was younger, I never really knew what like a shit test was. So imagine me 2 years ago, maybe something like that. Because when I was younger, I don't think this really had any impact on my life. But let's imagine like 2 years ago, me talking to some girls, maybe on Instagram or Snapchat, all right? Pretty beta move. And, a shit test maybe popped up and I just fucking did not know what it was and just completely failed. I remember actually there was this one girl and it was something like if I'm a virgin or some stupid question like that. And I just failed it instantly. I think I had to do a lot of like with frame, but especially now when I became more experienced in this, I was out with a girl and she like bugging me for like 45 minutes about my body count. And I did not want to tell her. And it got to a point where I was like, we're having a nice time here. Don't ruin it by, asking stupid questions. And she like, okay, sorry. And then I fucked her like 2 days later. And then, yeah, I told her my body count because she kept pestering me. And I was like, but I already scored. I don't like care. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'd tell her. And she was surprised, but, I basically just listened to her actions, not her words. Because girls will fucking they'll tell you shit. They will tell you, "Oh, sweetheart, please tell me what's going on with you." Oh, it's okay for you to cry. It's okay for this. You do that, and then they leave you, or they're like, "Oh, that's fucking unattractive as fuck." So look, this video is about shit tests. Basically, like, look, I'm gonna explain it. If you don't really know what a shit test is, it's pretty obvious. It's basically, look, if you haven't like been in the dating market or anything, I don't blame you. You probably don't know what this is, bro. But it's when a female subconsciously tests you to see in a way what status you are. If you're an alpha male, if you're a beta male, if you're like basically a little bitch who doesn't really know what he wants and doesn't know what he's doing. So it can be anything stupid like, oh, is this where you take all your girls? Or it can be, it doesn't have to do anything with that. It can literally be like, oh, I don't like Italian. Can we, like, can we not go to Italian? Or, things like this. These are all shit tests. And, the majority of it is like, girls will ask, like, is this what you do with all your girls? Is this blah, 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 blah? Then basically like trying to ruin the mode. Like you gotta understand that they do this subconsciously. It's their subconscious mind basically just telling them like, look, if you fail this, she's not gonna be like, oh my god, he failed my shit test. Her subconscious brain is gonna tell her something like, oh, he's actually not that attractive, without her actually knowing. You know what I mean? So look, every woman will shit test you. It's just the nature of females. You gotta get used to it. You can't get offended. Look, when a girl doesn't shit test you, it's probably because she's not really that into you. She's probably not that attracted to you, and she's probably not gonna, you know, take you anywhere. Like I don't know, take you to bed, or I mean, like she's not gonna let you take you to bed, take her to bed. So she's not gonna shit test you because it's a waste of her time. Look, what happens when you fail a shit test? It's not like fuck end of the world. It's like we're talking here like when you master this, your dating skills are just going to be like 10 times better. And it's not like, you fail a shit test, the whole date's over. That's completely not true, but it does help a lot. And it can't even happen. Like, you can fail one shit test from and the date's over. Like, nothing's happening. Like, it can happen, trust me. I've been there. So it's basically like when you fail the shit test, like let's say she's like, you guys are you're in a car at some spot, you're kissing her, and then she pulls away and she's like, this is what you do. She pulls away and she's like, Is this where you take all your girls? Now, a beta boy, or let's just say you failed the shit test. I can't speak today. You'll probably, uh, you'll probably respond something like this. No, I don't take all my girls here. This is actually the first time I've taken any girl here, you know? Like, I thought it was a nice place. I looked on it on Google Maps, like, before I took you out. Hold on, alright? You're putting so much information on her. Her brain is literally gonna be like, alright, this guy's some beta bitch who doesn't get much pussy, let's be honest. And he got lucky with me, and now he fucked it up. So she's probably not gonna kiss you more after that, or she might, and then she's gonna be like, "Can you take me home?" Blah blah blah. Maybe sex, maybe no sex, but probably she won't, reply or message you ever again. So don't be that guy like, oh no, you're the only girl in my life. You're the woman of my dreams. You're my soulmate. Don't pour out over this girl because look, the guy she draws over, the guy she fucks, is not that guy. It's the alpha guy who she meets 15 minutes and she's giving him head in some fucking bathroom blow stall. So look, truly, what women want, of course, women want a guy that just gets it, but they want a guy who other women want. Now, you might think, like, oh, but girls say they don't, and like women say they don't. Females say, oh no, I don't want a guy who other girls want because there's so much competition or some bullshit like this. I have no clue. But we've never listened to a woman's words. We always listen to their actions. And what they do, they go after the guys that other girl wants. Whoa! Mystery, brain through, light bulb, all this crazy shit. So they will literally go for a guy that other girls want because another girl has already vetted him. She's already shit tested him. So there's girls like, oh, okay, other girls want him, so I'll probably want him as well. Of course, we can talk about this more and like the whole topic of pre-selection, all that sort of stuff. But I'm not really covering that. This video, I'm basically just covering about shit tests. So don't listen to a woman's like words. All right, never listen to a woman's words. Always listen to her actions. I'll tell you a funny story with this. Oh, my nose is itchy. Sorry, bro. I'm in the woods with a girl. I've made a fire, and I lean in for the kiss. Now, she rejects me the first time, I have a sip of water, and then I get up and she's like, okay, we should go. And she's still sitting down and she's the one suggesting we should go. And I ask her, I'm like, be honest, do you really want to go? She shakes her head. I sit back down and I go straight in for the kiss. She's like, and then, of course, she starts kissing me, blah, blah, blah. Couple of seconds later, she's like, no, I can't do this, I can't. I told myself I wouldn't. No, this is so bad, and you're younger than me. And I said I'd only get with a guy who's already financially settled, and I was on holiday, right? So I wasn't sticking around, and who's gonna marry me and all this stuff. No, I can't do. And he keeps making out. Do you see her words? And do you see her actions? Now, like, I was fucking proud of myself here. I was trying my best not to crack up. I found this hilarious, bro. I was like sitting there and I was like, I knew exactly what was going on because, a girl will basically do this to make herself look like she's not easy. She'll do this to make herself not look like she's an easy target that everyone can get. In reality, it might be completely opposite. She might be like an easy girl who you can get with. But, but, bro, honestly, huge respect for you, like, watching this far. It's late. You could probably be watching some high dopamine video about, like, split screen, them telling a story and, like, those lawn mowers like running around those combines and blah blah blah. But you've clicked on this and you're still watching, bro. Mad respect to you. I'll get back to this. So where was I? With that check, yeah. So you can't listen to women's words. You have to watch their actions because their actions are completely different to their words. So let's move on to the most favorite topic from this video. How do you pass these shit tests? How do you succeed in them? How do you win? Blah blah blah. Look, to make it straightforward, it's not rocket science, right? It's not that difficult. It's pretty easy, and the way you go about it is relax. Take a deep breath in, breathe out. When you're on a date with a girl, don't be so uptight. You should be enjoying your time. You should be like fucking having a fun time. Be in this sexy, charming tone. This, when you put yourself into this, like, you're on a date with a girl, so you're like, hey, baby. Right, like, well, you put yourself, it's like, you just, you drop your tone, you drop your voice, and you're kind of almost more like calming. You maybe squint your eyes a little bit, and you're looking deep into her eyes. Maybe you're smirking, and you're just talking about some stuff. It doesn't have to be like rocket science. You're just talking about some stuff, and then she says some bullshit. Is this what is this what you do with all your girls? Look, right now I don't even have a way to answer that, so I'd probably just move on. I'd probably be like, "The view's nice here, isn't it?" She might hit you with again, but you can just deflect it and keep on doing something else. Look, a girl, you're just building mystery to her. She's gonna be like, "Oh, he didn't answer that. All these other guys did. What makes her so different? Maybe he does do this with all those girls, but maybe I'm actually the special one, and maybe he doesn't want to look like he doesn't get girls." So you're gonna basically make her run through so many theories in her head, and she's gonna think about you more. Of course, you want to ev- uh, evaluate her. Not the right word, but make her go through all the different emotions. Make her go through happiness, joy, a bit of anger. Like, you don't want to make your date angry. Of course, you want to make your date angry. You want to make them feel a bit disbelief. Like, huh? Is he contradicting me? Does this guy think he's better than me? You want to make them feel like all these different emotions because you're basically putting her through an emotional roller coaster. Like, I had this date and I took her through a massive emotional roller coaster. This girl was all over me. So it was so easy to message her like 2 weeks later, be like, "Yo, I'm gonna come to yours, be ready." I literally came over there, fucked her, and then left. And then I got bored of her and never saw her ever again because I just didn't want to see her. Like, that sounds bad, but like, it's not the point. It's the point of these shit tests. Like, when she tests you, just play it off. Play it off in a joking way. Look, like, you don't want to be stupid with this. You can just joke around it. You can say something silly. What you don't want to do is when you don't get women, and she's like, "Oh, is this what you do with all your girls?" You don't want to be like, "Oh yeah, I bring all my bitches here. I've got two in the back, two in the front, sucking my dick off. Then I roll around to their place, fucking pound them there. Their wifey's coming. I'm smashing her, smashing her. She's giving me head. I blow it out on that bitch." It's like, you don't want to sound like a guy who gets pussy when he doesn't get pussy because she will know, she'll feel it, and it's probably going to be worse than you just playing it off. Look, these are shit tests from women to put you on a hierarchy level to see, where does this guy like evaluate? Should I spend more time with him? Is he an alpha? Is he a beta? Is he a loser? Like, because if you're truly an alpha, you wouldn't care what a girl thinks of you, alright? When you approach a girl and she says something stupid, you don't care. I approached this girl once and I talked to her because she like waved to me, and I just walked over and she got all like shy and shit. She was like covering her face and everything, and I was like, "What's your name? You're pretty." And then we kind of just started talking. And I was like, oh, well, I got to go because I'm with my mates, but give me your Instagram. I gave her my phone, and there were like multiple girls on there that I got their Instagram. And she's like, have you been like getting girls all night? And I literally said, like, I was like, no, hi, you're funny. They're all my cousins. So it's literally like a stupid thing, but like she knew it wasn't true, but it was funny. It's not like I'd say like, oh no, those girls no, but you're better than them, you know. Some stop like no bullshit like that. You just play it off like I played off like, oh, you know, they're all my cousins when both of us knew it wasn't true, and I kind of said in a way that it wasn't true. It was literally just to play it off and keep moving. I didn't even end up getting her Instagram, and I kind of happy because she wasn't even that attractive. So it is what it is. But look, this video is basically like, don't overthink, don't overanalyze. All right, I'm gonna make a different video and actually the best date I had. I'll like kind of walk it bit by bit, and it'll be a great video to watch because you'll actually get a lot of knowledge out of it that you can use in your dating life. I'll see you in the next video, brother. Thank you so much for watching this far. Peace out!